Yo, what's good, guys? Welcome back to another weekly trading review. I'm gonna be going over this week's performance and what I can do to improve going into next week. A lot of important lessons this video, so you gotta pay attention, man. So lock in and learn something, bro. I love you. Enjoy the video. Yo, what's good, guys? Welcome to my week review. This is a weekly review of my trading this week. This week was honestly really bad for me. I was emotional. Uh, really bad compared to last week. Last week was much better. Rule adherence was much better, and my overall performance was really much better. So yeah, let's go through. This is my weekly trading review. So let's get into it, guys. Uh, and my total PNL was minus 13.3%. I had 4 trading days and I had 4 trades taken. Win rate 0%. 0% this week. No, not a single win this week. Total PNL was minus 13.3%. Average loss minus 3.3. I had no winners, so there is no risk to reward. Rule adherence score, which is most important in my opinion. 3 out of 4 days followed rules. Emotional control average was 6.5 out of 10. Daily performance average was 6.25 out of 10. So you can clearly see, if you've seen my other week reviews, it's much worse than what I usually have. So yeah. But let me first go, before we look at the bad things, let's first go over what I did well this week. This is really important. So, damage control after the first red day. Despite having a severe emotional lapse on Monday, losses afterward were progressively smaller and controlled. Rule adherence recovered midweek. On Tuesday and Thursday were rule compliant. This shows the ability to self-correct rather than spiral. I mean, from ever since Monday, I followed my rules. On Monday, I broke my rules. That's the only day I broke my rules, and yeah, ever since then, I've followed my rules. Loss size discipline improved materially. After the minus 8% day, not a single loss exceeded minus 3.5%. That is containment, not collapse. And also willingness to stay flat. On Wednesday was a clean no trade day taken intentionally, not out of fear, but selectivity. And process awareness remained intact. Even on red days, journaling was honest and specific, no blame shifting. And this week confirms, in my opinion, that risk management is beginning to stabilize, even when execution falters. So this is the day-to-day uh, review. On Monday, I had a really bad day, minus 8% right here. Took 2 trades and FOMO and everything. Behavior was poor, uh, emotional FOMO and clear rule violation. Tuesday, I made a minus 3.5% loss. Behavior was good. A plus setup and loss accepted cleanly. On day 3, took a no trade day, discipline no trade day. Behavior was very good. And today, which is Thursday, is a minus 1.8%. Behavior quality was good. Uh, Notes small loss and rule compliance. Yeah. So now I'm gonna go over repeating mistakes. This is really important for me to fix. And yeah, number 1 is FOMO after missing the first move. This is critical. This is the most important one. If I can just fix this right here, then I can flip my performance upside down. I promise you, bro. Like on Monday, it was a direct violation of Rule 7, and Rule 7 is if you miss the first big move, take a no trade day. If I don't get filled or hesitate and the move goes my way, no trade day, because that has happened like 200 times where I've missed a fill and then I take a stupid ass trade later to justify. So the emotional trigger is missed fill, then that turns to urgency, and that turns to justification, and that turns to execution, and yeah, and then I take a bad trade and stupid, just fucking lose. Uh, Two trades taken should not exist in that condition. The impact this has is responsible for around 60% of the weekly drawdown, which is entirely avoidable, and it's behavioral, not technical. This is a setup problem. This is not a setup problem. This is emotional impulse overriding with pre-commitment. So yeah, man. My number two is marginal conviction on crowded scanner days. On day two, on Tuesday, I mean, there was a lot of gappers, which means divided attention. There's a lot of people watching all of these different stocks, so uh, it's kind of hard to really pick the best one. So position sizing reduced appropriately, but conviction was already compromised. So the impact this has is that it was a controlled loss, but the decision quality suffered. This is context filtering is an issue, not a discipline failure. So this right here is like a comparison to last week versus this week. So yeah, metric stats and everything. My P&L last week was plus 15.4%. This week was minus 13.3%. Last week I took 3 trades on 5 days. This week I took 4 trades on 4 days. So you can see the difference right there. My win rate last week was 66.7%, 67. This week is 0%. Took 0 wins this week. It's crazy. Uh, Last week average loss was minus 2.9%. This week is minus 3.3%. Rule adherence score last week was 5 out of 5 days. This week was 3 out of 4 days. Emotional control last week was 8.8 out of 10, and this week is 6.5 out of 10. So you see a clear difference that I did a bad job this week. This week was not good for me. So key observation, the performance swing is explained almost entirely by day one behavior. Remove day one, and this becomes a controlled development week. That's true. Conclusion: this is not a breakdown week. This was a containment week with behavioral lapse. The system did not fail. The trader temporarily abandoned it. So now I'm gonna go to key insights. This is mostly important. So last winning week proved when I follow my rules, expectancy shows immediately. This losing week proved one emotional decision can erase multiple disciplined days. Both are equally valuable data points. So I'm actually grateful for this because I'm still on just paper trading. So I'm grateful for learning this and taking it so seriously and actually learning these lessons without losing money. Uh, but yeah, what needs improvement is uh, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna go over what needs improvement. I'm sorry, someone just called me. Uh, but absolute number one is absolute zero tolerance on Rule 7. This rule exists specifically to prevent your worst behavior. Adjustment if first move is missed, platform discipline required. No one exception logic. This rule must become non negotiable identity behavior, not a guideline. So, number two is treat overcrowded market days as defensive mode. High scanner activity equals higher cognitive load. Adjustment default expectation is a flat day. Only trade if setup is visibly dominant over noise. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm going to try explaining it much better. Uh, when there is a lot of scanners here, uh, if there is a lot of scanners, not just a few, then I'm gonna like have in mind that it's most likely gonna be a no trade day in my mind before only trade a setup if it's visibly dominant over noise. So this is my action plan for next week. Refined trading rules, focus, top 3. So miss first move, hard no trade day, no exception. This is instantly. If I miss the first move, don't get filled, I'm closing my laptop instantly, not looking at the charts. So one trade max on high volume scanner days. Uh, if emotional control is below 6, stop trading immediately. Tactical adjustments, which is also important. Add journal tag missed move reaction. I'm gonna add this going into next week. And before entry, verbally confirm this trade exists if I wasn't emotional. Reduce max daily loss threshold on Monday's highest FOMO risk. So now I'm gonna be going over some psychological notes. Day one behavior was immature but acknowledged. Day 2 to 4 behavior was controlled and improving. I'm not fighting the market. I'm still learning to fully govern impulse. So yeah, uh, that is normal at this stage, but it must tighten. Summary to carry into next week. So this is pretty self-explanatory. Uh, One rule violation caused most of the damage. Loss size control is improving. Flat days are still underutilized as a weapon. Emotional awareness is ahead of emotional mastery. I'm not rebuilding discipline, I am stress testing it. The next step is not more rules, it is flawless execution of the few that matter most. That is so true, bro. So let me go over this again. Summary to carry into next week. One rule violation caused the most damage. I only broke one rule, and that broke like half of last week progress. And my loss size control is improving. I'm getting small. I'm keeping my losses smaller and smaller. And flat days are still underutilized as a weapon. I need to use flat days as a weapon to not lose money and like so obvious. Like when I'm talking about it, it's so obvious, bro. Holy shit. Uh, but yeah, man, I don't have much time. Hope you guys enjoyed this weekly review. Maybe you learned something. Maybe you struggle with some of the same things that I do, and you learned something today. Hopefully you did. I love you guys. Peace out. Yeah, peace out.